A new car brand is growing faster than BMW in Australia. And most people hadn't even heard its name 5 years ago. This is Zeekr. Just last month, more than 30,000 people chose this brand. And in Australia, it entered the SUV market and almost immediately started competing with the big names. But the real question is, does this car truly make sense for Australia? Let's find out together. Grab your tea or coffee because we're starting. Let's start our list from number 5. At 5th place, we're welcomed by the Zeekr X, the urban knight. Take a good look at this car, the Zeekr X. When people tell me it's just a compact crossover, I respond with one figure, 480 horsepower. We're talking about a family car priced at $27,000 around 41,500 Australian dollars. Isn't that absurd? Now let's dive into the design. Notice those sharp, aggressive lines. Park it next to a BMW X3 and suddenly German engineering feels stuck in 2015. Everything here is smooth. Everything is digital. Even the door handles disappear into the bodywork. This isn't just design evolution. It's a statement of how far the game has shifted. Now let's explore the interior, because the real miracle begins inside. With the 2026 refresh comes that 14.6-inch display. Wave your hand and it glides 353 millimeters across the dashboard, right toward the passenger. It feels alive. And here's the twist, even Mercedes models costing over $100,000 don't offer this kind of technology. Performance? From 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.69 seconds. On American roads, that's 0 to 60 miles per hour. Quick enough to leave plenty of sports cars blushing. This isn't just a family crossover anymore. It's a futuristic powerhouse that blends luxury, tech, and raw speed in one package. Would you like me to polish this into a YouTube narration script with pacing cues and emphasis markers so it flows perfectly for voiceover delivery? We've arrived at number 4 on our list, and here, waiting for us, is the Zeekr 001. This is the model that shocked the world back in 2021, a shooting brake body. What Porsche Panamera tried to achieve, Zeekr delivered, at half the price and with far more aggression. The numbers sound like science fiction, 1,265 horsepower. And the special FR edition of 2026 is preparing to break the 2,000 horsepower barrier. 2,000 horsepower in a family car? I need to pause and catch my breath. This machine doesn't just drive, it hunts everything in front of it. Step inside and the story continues. Nappa leather, real wood trims, details that would make a Panamera Sport Turismo driver question their life choices. The Panamera starts at $130,000, while the Zeekr 001 comes in at just $36,000, around 55,400 Australian dollars. Let's be honest, are you still ready to pay an extra 100 grand just for the prestige of Porsche? Or would you rather take the 001 FR and head out on a family trip faster than a Bugatti Veyron? I'll leave that debate to the comments. We've reached number 3, and here stands the Zeekr 007. This car is a full-blown plan to erase the BMW 5 Series and Tesla Model 3 from the market. It doesn't just compete, it mocks the old generation. Its Stargate light panel. When you approach, it doesn't simply switch on, it winks, it plays animations. Inside, the AI assistant chats with you, learns your habits, knows your routes. On the technical side, it's powered by NVIDIA Orin X chips, capable of 58 trillion operations per second. That's stronger than the computer I use to edit my videos. And the price? Just $27,500, around 42,300 Australian dollars. For that, you get 600 horsepower and 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 2.8 seconds. So does it make sense to pay $60,000 for a BMW 5 Series? Or would you rather choose this tank of technology? No brand loyalty, just your honest opinion. At the end of the video, I'll share my personal verdict, plus the real costs of charging, taxes, and insurance. All of it, laid out for you. We've arrived at number 2. And here, shaking Australia to its core, is the Zeekr 7X. This is no longer just a Chinese story. This is reality being written on Australian streets. The Zeekr 7X. At the end of 2025, it entered the Australian market priced just 1,000 Australian dollars cheaper than the Tesla Model Y. And it tore the entire segment apart. Why? Because Zeekr touched the human details. This SUV is the world's first factory-built model with an integrated child airbag seat. Add to that a 900-volt architecture that charges in just 10 minutes. On Australian highways, or America's endless miles, you won't even finish your coffee before the car is ready to roll again. Ground clearance rises up to 230 millimeters. They even drove this family SUV up the world's tallest sand dune, Balutu Peak. Meanwhile, European SUVs shoot their off-road ads mostly on asphalt. Starting price? $32,000 US, around 49,000 Australian dollars. Your child's safety and a 10-minute charge. Which European brand offers you that at this price? Share your thoughts. We finally arrived at number 1, the Zeekr X. I saved this model for last because it's the boldest answer the industry has ever given to the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. When pre-orders opened in September 2025, 10,000 people bought it in just 13 minutes. At over 5.2 meters long, it's as imposing as a building. But inside, the technology is almost intimidating. The AI MCDC suspension system scans the road ahead with cameras and softens the suspension before you even reach a bump. You feel nothing. Performance? 1,400 horsepower and 1,400 newton meters of torque. A palace on wheels that outruns a Lamborghini Urus. And the most shocking part? The price. $64,000 to $83,000 US, around $98,500 to $127,800 Australian dollars. Compare that to the Rolls-Royce Cullinan at $350,000 US. So here's the ultimate question. Do you pay $350,000 for a logo or $64,000 for the future itself? The decision of 10,000 buyers in 13 minutes says everything. Let's talk a little about charging costs, just as I mentioned earlier. Let's be honest, buying a car is only about 20% of the story. The other 80% is keeping it alive. For years we've been taught that driving must always be expensive. But in 2026, Zeekr completely breaks that rule. If you live in Australia or America, stopping at a fuel station already feels like punishment. Filling up the tank of a petrol SUV costs you 100 to 120 Australian dollars, and that only gives you 500 to 600 kilometers of range. With Zeekr models, the situation is different. Install a wall box at home and charge overnight. A full 100 kilowatt-hour battery will cost you just 15 to 20 Australian dollars. That means you're driving the same distance 5 to 6 times cheaper. For a driver covering 2,000 kilometers per month, that's about 4,500 to 5,000 Australian dollars saved per year. Over 5 years, that saving equals the price of a brand new compact car. Let's now talk about taxes and insurance. Because owning a car isn't just about the sticker price. In markets like Australia and America, 2026 brings major benefits for EVs. Thanks to fringe benefits tax (FBT) exemptions, if you purchase or lease an electric car for business, the government takes almost no tax. With petrol cars, however, you're hit every year with luxury car tax and carbon emission charges that drain your wallet. Driving a Zeekr makes you a green hero in the eyes of the state, and that translates into thousands of dollars in tax refunds every year. And the old myth that insurance for EVs is expensive? That's history. Zeekr's 2026 safety ratings are so high that insurers now apply lower premiums. Why? Because accident risk is minimal. The car's AI sees danger faster than you do. On the servicing side, the difference is night and day. With petrol cars, every 10,000 kilometers you're changing oil, filters, belts. With Zeekr, you're basically checking tire balance and windshield fluid. Over 5 years, servicing a petrol car costs around 6,000 Australian dollars, while a Zeekr, barely 800 Australian dollars. 5. From the X all the way to the 9X, made one thing crystal clear to me. We're not just living through a transition period, we're standing right in the middle of a new era. I won't hide my personal view. For me, the gasoline engine is already a museum piece. Yes, we love the sound, we enjoy the vibration, but the reality is that we're tired of playing along with outdated technology. Zeekr has proven that you don't need to be a millionaire to buy the future. For $30,000 US, you get technology that makes European brands sold at triple the price look like toys. People often ask me, what if the battery dies tomorrow? The truth is, it's 2026. These batteries are designed to outlive both you and me. The real fear isn't the battery dying. The real fear is clinging to that old fuel pump while the world moves on. The choice is yours. But remember, time waits for no one. Today, Zeekr isn't just selling cars, they're rewriting the industry. And I'm proud to be part of this story. Thank you for watching all the way through. I read every comment and I reply. Who's still saying gasoline? Who's ready to order a Zeekr after seeing these numbers? My viewers in Australia and America, What's your tax experience like? Share it, let's discuss. Stay safe on the roads. See you in the next video.